What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're gonna love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 519 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the City of Vineland. It's KB coming at you from Underground Studios and joining me like he does pretty much every single Sunday night. And by the time you guys are listening to this Monday morning, the host with the most, the people's champ, he's hashtag affiliated, Mr. Patty Pitts.
What's poppin', all my peeps? It's great to be back in the underground and talking Philly sports because I'm not gonna lie, Kyle, I'm pretty upset with Boston sports right now. It's just your Eagles are honestly crushing it in free agency, even with some of the people they lost. And I mean, just hearing the news about the Patriots kind of being out on D-Hop, I'm not in the mood. Huh?
So that's a bummer.
It's a bummer. It's just awful. And now you have to hope that they do something with Judy. So I would much rather talk, about the Eagles and because it's a lot happier, we'll say.
Yeah, we're going to talk Birds as they've made a plethora of free agent veteran signings, with one more who was brought in on a visit that has some historical ties to the Super Bowl run. We're going to get into the fight in Phils, the unfortunate Rhys Hoskins injury that happened late last week, get into the Aaron Nola contract situation. Pitsy and I also are recording this right after our fantasy baseball draft, as Pitts is now part of my fantasy baseball league. Probably talk a little fantasy baseball. Get your thoughts on the draft in the league.
Yeah, we need thoughts.
As it is half underground content creators and half underground adjacent supporters. So that's very fun. We'll also talk Sixers as they've lost 2 in a row out west, which is, whatever. It happens. Big one on Monday against Joker. Batman versus Joker. So gonna be a good one. And then we'll also get into March Madness, Underground Madness, and give you guys some updates going into the Final Four and the champion. Oh, crazy to think March Madness is already almost over.
Yeah, it flew. It was a weird year. I'm not going to lie. As soon as that first weekend ended, I was like, well, my bracket's kind of fucked, and I was doing well, so.
It was like the fastest month because Selection Sunday was March 11th, and by the time the championship's over, it'll be almost a month. That's a quick month. March flew by.
This sounds like this may be a stupid question, but is the Final Four this weekend?
Final Four is this upcoming weekend, and then
April
the championship
1st,
is on Monday.
Yeah, April 1st, 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay, so WrestleMania weekend. Wow, that's packed.
Load up! Load
it up!
You know what else happens this coming weekend, Pitts?
Oh, what?
Baseball's back. Baseball's back.
Baseball
March 30th. We're 3 days away from opening day. Crazy.
That's incredible. That's wild to think too.
Baseball is in the air. I love it. But of course, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram. Follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11 on Instagram. And you can follow Mr. Patty Pitts at Pat_Pitts on Twitter and Pitsy35 on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast feed. We just updated it too on Instagram, so you can actually click the link and subscribe. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, we're there. Leave a 5-star review. It really does help the show continue to grow. Helps us, get more opportunities to do cool stuff for you guys and for ourselves as well, and continue growing this company. So go subscribe. Leave a 5-star review. Let us know your thoughts on, Eagles postseason or Eagles offseason so far. Phil's preseason predictions. Let us know. That's crazy. I just realized Wednesday is going to be Philly's preseason prediction show. That's crazy.
Well, that's gonna be a good show for you guys.
That's crazy. So yeah, go subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and if you're a Spotify listener, make sure you follow the show on Spotify. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's where you get full video episodes, clips, live streams, original content, shorts, interviews, and every single podcast on this network. You get it in full video form. Make sure you click that bell icon too. Dom brought that up when we were hosting Top Bins. It makes so much sense. Ring the bell. Phil's season is here. Ring that bell icon. With 6 podcasts going out on this YouTube channel every single week, for the most part, get those notifications so you don't miss out on any of the content. Subscribe, hit that like button, ring the bell icon, comment down below your thoughts on everything Pitsy and I discuss on the episode, and youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. We are currently, Pitts, sitting at 422 subscribers. We did put a little challenge out to the people on Twitter. Our good friend Dewani, the talented artist that she is, has a sale right now. This is not a free ad, but we just support our people. Dewani's doing a 20% off all Phillies prints until April 1st. So if we get to 500 subscribers before Dewani's sale ends, we'll give away a Phillies print to one lucky subscriber to the YouTube channel. So go subscribe. We're 78 subscribers away from that happening. And of course, like I said, this show is presented by the City of Vineland. Shout out to our hometown here. The City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. Through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city of Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And also thank you to our sponsors who, in addition to the City of Vineland, make this show happen: Main Auto LLC, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. And, of course, our amazing merch partners, PHI Apparel Company, the best in the game. Pitsy, you were rocking the Underground hoodie at Limitless this weekend.
I was. I watched one of my boys shout out the Victorious BRG on his title win, and I was rocking my Underground sweatshirt there.
You were probably the most comfortable person there.
I was the most comfortable and best dressed by far. And I stood out. Get this, Kyle. It snowed. Okay, it snowed in Maine as I was driving up. All I had was this hoodie and my Expos jersey.
Kept you warm.
I was just about to say, I had it on. I was doing my squats, and it kept me warm. While my buddy's in there, he had 3 layers on, but I was just repping Underground. Let people know I was warm. Awesome.
And you guys can do the same thing, as this show is brought to you by PHI Apparel Company. And they provide unique designs and high-quality clothing for the great fans of Philly. Guys, they've got amazing Phil shirts. Gear up for this Philly season. Like, I can't wait to purchase my Fanatic Choking Out Mr. Met shirt. They've got a Muck the Fets shirt, which I'm sure you will be ordering ASAP, Pitts.
The what one?
It's Muck the Fets.
Yes. That's right up my alley. Confusion of words. It's amazing.
They've got great shirts to gear up for Philly season, as well as Sixers, Flyers, Union, Eagles, even Philadelphia Stars gear for the USFL available on their website. And it's home to official Underground Sports Philadelphia merch. All of our merch is available there. We've got some new designs in the works that we should be sending over in the next couple of weeks, so gear up for that. And with their original designs for all, there's no doubt you'll stand out in the crowd. You guys, our listeners, can use our promo code Underground. If you're watching on YouTube, it's up on the screen right now. phiapparel.co. Use code Underground. You get 10% off any and all merch orders. You can use it anytime. It's the most effective and direct way to support everything we're doing here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. So go to phiapparel.co and use code Underground for 10% off your order. Pitsy, let's get into the most pressing of the pressing news. It's the fight in Phils. Rhys Hoskins broke my heart. It broke my heart when I saw the clip, when I saw the diagnosis, and when I saw the confirmed news that Rhys Hoskins will be out for the season, tours ACL in spring training, fielding a ground ball. Looked like the back of his cleat kind of got caught in the grass, which
Yeah.
just
No.
brutal. Um,
And he
you
fell
know,
right away. You just you see it, when you send me the clip, you just see it and your just heart sinks because you never want to see shit like that happen, especially in spring training. The season hasn't even started yet. It's yeah, it was sad. I feel for you guys.
yeah. And Rhys is a guy that like I've been a Rhys Hoskins fan since day one. He is one of my favorite players in baseball, and I have gone to war on Twitter for my guy Rhys because the amount of people who want to go out and say, "Oh, we should trade Rhys Hoskins." Rhys Hoskins, all he can't field, he can't play the field. But Rhys Hoskins is the heartbeat and soul of this Philadelphia Phillies, like this iteration of the Philadelphia Phillies. Like back in the day when Jimmy Rollins was the soul and the heartbeat of the Phillies during the run, that is
Mhm.
what Rhys Hoskins is to this team now. He's been through the lows, he's seen this team at the lowest of lows, and he is now, since last season, experienced closest to the highest of highs that you can experience as a Major League Baseball player. Got to play in the World Series,
Yeah.
went on this magical run with the Fightins. I it is like one of those things that I'm heartbroken because Rhys is that guy. He's set to be a free agent after this year too, so this was his contract year. Two things on the front of the contract. One, I hope the Phils do right by Rhys and pay him, a reasonable contract, bring him back. Like I can't think of Phillies baseball like this era right now without Rhys Hoskins. It's weird.
I'd agree. I would agree
So
with
I
that.
hope the Phillies do right and like give Rhys a contract. Like he's a Scott Boras guy. We have a lot of Scott Boras guys on this roster, including Bryce Harper. And Bryce and Rhys are very close. So like hopefully that has,
Oh,
some inner
that'll
workings
play.
there.
I hope it loses.
Um, and it's one of those things that I'm just broken for him because like Rhys should have gotten to experience this season post, World Series run. Like he of all people was so important to what the Phillies did last year in the playoffs. Like that bat spike against the Braves, like just so many moments from Rhys Hoskins that it's not fair that this opportunity for him to go out on opening day in front of the Phillies faithful, when
Yeah,
the Phils come
that,
back home because they start the season on the road, that like Dan Baker won't be announcing Rhys Hoskins' name as the starting first baseman and him get to like take in all the love and passion from the Phils fans. I hope
mhm.
he's able to be in the clubhouse for most
Oh,
of the home games at least this
yeah.
season and be with the team because I feel like his presence is just so important. Um, Also, let's keep this train rolling. Destiny Legardo, who writes for Phillies Nation, put this out there. The Go Yard with Rhys Hoskins and MDA donation link. It'll be in the YouTube description. Donate $17. Rhys's number 17 to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. It's a
Mhm.
big cause close to Rhys and Jamie Hoskins. They have an event on June 22nd of 2023 that I really want to go to like support everything
Oh
that
yeah.
they're doing. We'll have the link in the description there. If you have the means to do so, donate $17 or whatever you can to Rhys and Jamie's fundraiser. We'll be donating for sure, just to kind of turn those raw and like rough emotions that we lost our guy to
Yeah.
an injury into something very positive. I feel for Jamie, I feel for Rhys, and like hoping for a speedy and healthy and proper recovery for him. And the selfish part of all Phillies fans, and I'm sure Rhys feels this way too, I hope he's able to pull a Kyle Schwarber in 2016, where Schwarber tore his ACL in April, came back and was the DH in the World Series for the Cubs. Um, it would be the amount of cheering and electricity that would happen if Rhys Hoskins is able to come back and DH in the postseason for the Phils.
Oh, that would be
I would
awesome.
have chills. I'd have chills because like it would just like it's one of the, I love Rhys so much. Like, he is just such a genuine, amazing dude who has made Philadelphia his home and has like just bought into everything here since day one. And it just sucks that he's out for the season.
Yeah, that's just in one of the. It sucks for anyone to get hurt and miss the season, but especially when it's one of the guys like Rhys, you never want to see that. Not only as a Phillies fan, but just a baseball fan too, because that's like when you want to go up against the best guys throughout the season, and you know that he has friends around the league too. It's one of those. It just sucks. It sucks.
Yeah. So sending all of our best to Rhys and Jamie, and hoping for a quick and successful recovery on Rhys's ACL. The other Phil's news is they got to find some sort of replacement, essentially, for Rhys at first base. Right now, it looks like it's going to be Derek Hall, who had a phenomenal year being called up last year, and not the Derek Hall. He hits moonshots, but he still needs to work on his fielding a little bit, I would say. But with Derek Hall having to essentially become your everyday first baseman, you need to go and find somebody to replace him on the bench. You need to fill that bench depth. And that's going to be the difficult part, is how long do you wait to make a move, essentially?
Well, is there anyone that get called
it's
up
before
right
the
now?
season has started, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. But that's when you could probably utilize the farm system a lot more, and whoever's the hot bat at the time when you need a call up, and just have it be a revolving door type spot. That's not a bad idea, especially just because it's a weird short term, long term, mid gray area. You can't just like go out and sign, a bigger name or whatever, because then Rhys comes back and whatever like that. So I don't know. My thing, I would say utilize the farm system.
It's going to be Derek Hall for now. He's 27 years old. He's going to get a majority of the playing time. It wouldn't shock me if somebody like Josh Harrison, who was brought in as like a utility player, gets time at first base. The thing I really don't want is I don't want Alec Boehm playing first base. And it's not that I don't think he's capable. It's just Alec Boehm has done so much since the I fucking hate this place moment to develop and become a stable and above average third baseman, and pulled off some amazing plays during the postseason run late in the season that like blew people's minds. And I just want Alec Boehm to stay comfortable where he is. I don't want to mess with anything. I don't want to mess with any of his routines. And in that facet too, take away from your everyday starting third baseman to make him your first baseman. Now you're looking for a third base opportunity too. I also wouldn't hate, if, in his off days of playing catcher, moments where you put JT Realmuto at first base, I'm okay with that too. Some options that are being laid out, potentially. This comes from Tim Boyle from Fansided. He listed Garrett Cooper, Seth Brown, former Phil's legend Darren Ruff, Miguel Sano.
I remember him. Okay.
The other guy that Dylan and I have talked about is Christian Walker. If you wait closer to the trade deadline, from the Diamondbacks, he's 31. He's on an expiring contract at the end of the year, so it's not like you'll be paying multiple years of a guy who is kind of just a rental at this point. But I think you just let Derek Hall cook at first base. You let him just get his opportunity to play and be the guy. And then if you feel you need to make a move, also Luke Voit got released from his contract from the Brewers. I wouldn't hate bringing Luke Voit in as a guy off the bench who's just a big bopper, will hit home runs and kind of lengthen that bench depth. It just sucks, too, that, like, not only now is Rhys out, like, Bryce Harper's out for, pretty much the first half of the season. So now, like, the big weight of expectation and something you need to rely upon is Nick Castellanos having that bounce back season like everyone believes he's going to have, ourselves included.
Mhm.
But that's emphasized that much more now that Rhys is injured and out. So Nicky C's got to have a huge year. And then also, you need Alec Boehm to continue to develop. I think it also helps that now you're not really having Kyle Schwarber lead off for this team. You have Trey Turner, so now your lineup gets a little bit deeper in terms of like potential run production where Trey Turner's on base, Kyle Schwarber's now hitting a 2-run home run instead of just a solo shot to lead games off, so that helps. But yeah, I think for now, like, Derek Hall should be the guy. Like, he's in-house. You don't have to go and trade anything. And then, trade deadline rolls around. You see where Bryce Harper's progression is, which Larry Bowa said, throw out any expectations of Bryce Harper's calendar in terms of he could be back sooner rather than the later dates, which would be magnificent. But, I mean, I think you just ride the hot hand, and that's Derek Hall right now, and you wait and see, how he's progressing as an everyday first baseman for the time being until you feel you need to go and make a move.
Yeah. I have nothing else to add there. Yeah.
The other Phils news is the Phillies and Aaron Nola have ended contract extension discussions. Everybody was freaking out. Rightfully so. Aaron Nola's our baby boy. He's been here since 2015. We drafted him earlier than that. I was at Nola's career debut, so I've been an Aaron Nola stan since day one. He is our ace. It's him and Wheeler at the top of the rotation. They're going to get a deal done. Like, I'm fully confident that a deal will get done with Aaron Nola and the Phillies. Aaron Nola is the type of guy that wants to be here. He's another guy that has made Philadelphia like his second home. And why would he want to leave now when the Phillies are on the up and up? When he's also been here through even worse times than what Rhys has been in, because Nola got called up in the midst of we're tearing it down and we're going to be bad. So, like, when I was at Nola's debut in 2015, in June of 2015, we were out in Ashburn Alley, and it was me and Noah, who's in our fantasy baseball league, and everybody in Ashburn Alley were chanting, "He's our savior."
Yeah.
Like, they know. Nola has been here through the muck and is the guy that punched our ticket to the postseason to end the postseason drought. He's going to be here. The big example that's been thrown around online when it comes to big, Phillies players, contract negotiations being cut off until the offseason and them hitting free agency. We traded big-time prospects to a in-division rival for JT Realmuto when we did. JT hit free agency and still re-signed. Aaron Nola is going to be here. I would be flabbergasted if Aaron Nola is not a Philadelphia Philly for potentially the rest of his career.
Yeah, I would find that very odd too. I forgot my point, what I was going to say, but yeah.
It's one of those things where, like, we're getting to the point where the season's getting ready to start. Of course, contract negotiations are going to stall now and kind of end if you're not at a meeting point of shaking hands and getting a deal done. The player wants to focus on the season. The agent is going to go and focus on getting the best deal for his client, whether it's with you or somebody else. I'm just using that in broad terms.
No, yeah.
And the Phillies front office has to get ready for the season as well.
Yeah, everyone wants to get a deal done. It is not. It just. I couldn't see him in another uniform. I've only known him as a Phillies, and even it doesn't matter if I'm a hometown guy or not. You affiliate a guy with a team, and it's weird if they're not, especially with the success of the team, as you mentioned. Like, it's one thing if it was, well, he's been around for a while, but it's been middle of the pack, constantly clawing, but they got a taste of a championship or at least fighting for one last season. You don't think that he wants to come back and run it again with the boys? There wasn't any issues that I heard of Nola. Like, that'd be the only thing that would make this. Oh, okay, I can understand why it doesn't make. They haven't reached an agreement yet, but like, yeah, it should be a done deal.
He's a
I
big
don't.
team guy. And like you said, it's funny too. Like it's a joke in a sense that I bring this, but like Phillies got their path to the World Series last year has never been done in Phillies history because the Phillies have never been a wild card team in their postseason history. They had always won the division when they got to the postseason.
Oh,
they were never a wild card. So they made history last year by being in as the first Phillies team in franchise history, which is one of the oldest franchises in sports. They've been around since 1883.
That's
First time they got in as a wild card, went to the World Series, were 2 games away from winning the World Series. Like they did magical things, and it's one of those things too that like Matt and I have discussed this in the past where, sometimes things have felt weird and it's like the Phillies like bought this team. They built it from signing free agents, but also injecting a little bit of, farm system here and there. But like it's worked in a weird way where typically like that doesn't work. And the guys that they've brought in have developed what the culture of this team is. And like it feels like even though guys are coming from different places, whether it's, with Harper and then JT and then Castellanos, Schwarber, now Trey Turner joining the Rhys Hoskins, the Alec Boehms, the Bryson Stotts, the Nolas, and so bringing in Zach Wheeler and stuff like that. Like it's worked and like they get along and like they feel like they've been teammates forever. And typically like 9 times out of 10 that doesn't work, especially in baseball.
Yeah, chemistry is half the battle when fighting for a championship. And if you have guys that are on like that want to get to that next point, you need to do everything you can as an organization to make it happen. And if it means going and spending that little extra money, saying, all right, fine, we'll give it to you, that you just got to make the player happy. It's mind boggling that they haven't done it yet.
We have one of the most notorious I'm willing to spend president of baseball operations in Dave Dombrowski.
I know.
Big Daddy Dave is going to spend.
He will spend whatever he needs to win.
He's literally like Captain America, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
But yeah, and on top of that too, like the Phillies finally have a manager that the guys want to play for. Like imagine this Phillies team last year goes on this run and everything, but like for the first month and a half, 2 months of the season, they actually had Rob Thompson as the manager, not Joe Girardi.
Dude, they may not be a wild card. They may have been.
They would have won the division probably.
That's the difference. They win the division. I mean,
it's wild.
I really forget. I forget, and I'm going to forget more than once that Girardi was the coach or manager of that team the year they went to the World Series.
Yeah,
it's hilarious. He got fired.
Yeah,
remember you complained about it to me. You're like, just fucking fire him. It's like, yeah.
Like it felt like we have an episode titled like the Phillies are doomed from May, and look what happened. Girardi gets fired. The season turns.
The dramatic irony in that is incredible.
Also, I'm going to send it to you so you can watch it. I actually want to see you like live react to this. And,
I'm great.
The Phillies mic'd up Brandon Marsh during spring training.
Oh.
And it is some of the most electric content that you will ever see because Brandon Marsh is my spirit animal. Like, I love this man with my whole being. I'm going to send you this one clip here.
Yeah, is it on Insta or?
I'm going to text it to you.
Okay.
I'll link the full mic'd up video. There are some just electric clips from Brandon Marsh's brain, and he is, without a doubt, on my white whale list for this season to get Brandon Marsh on this podcast. I want nothing more.
You're so sexy. That's incredible. That's a guy.
I want nothing more than Brandon Marsh to come on this podcast.
Oh, we'd vibe.
Like imagine on a main pod Wednesday episode that includes an interview a conversation, if you will, with myself, Matt, and Brandon Marsh.
That would be must-watch television. It really would.
I want nothing. This is my call out to Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh, come on the podcast. We're big fans. I love you. Look at we have great beards. I love the wet hair. We're big Lil Uzi Vert fans, DMX fans. Come on the pod, Brandon Marsh. Let's do it. But yeah, I'm excited for Phil's season, man. We just did our fantasy baseball draft too. I'm in such a baseball vibe now.
Oh, I'm all in on baseball right
Like
now.
you're back. You're back to being a baseball fan.
Dude, when you give me a team like you just did, it would be pretty impossible to not be.
I can't wait to be texting you in like late June at like 10 o'clock, and we're both just up watching like an Angels Athletics game.
Yeah, like you got to throw something on TVB. Like something's got to go on there, and if it's going to be a random West Coast game, I'm for it. You can see a Yaya Ding Dong.
Dude, I can't wait. Like,
let me look at this team. I mean, to be fair, I would my keepers in this league were Acuna, Kyle Tucker, and
Corey Seager.
And then I got the 101 and have Soto. And my outfield now is Juan Soto, Christian Yelich, Ronald Acuna, and Kyle Tucker. Because utility player.
Quite the squad.
It's just incredible. My pitching, I think, could be better. I'm not a fan of my. Oh no! Excuse me. I have Jacob deGrom.
As long as he stays healthy, low Mets.
Well, he's on the Mets, so maybe he will be healthy and win a World Series. It's like kryptonite.
You know who the Phils start the season against this year?
Who is
you know who our opening day pitching matchup here in Philadelphia is, Pitt? It's the Philadelphia Phillies at the Texas Rangers. Aaron Nola versus Jacob deGrom. That's opening day, folks.
All right, well, that's another reason.
Electric.
Oh my God, that would be insane.
That is electricity personified right there.
You're gonna be there.
Well, that one's on the road. I'll be the following week. We're at home.
One. Oh, okay, that's a road one. Okay.
Following week we're at home.
Hell of it.
What
hell of an opening day for the Phils.
4:05. I'll be home from work. Or no. I'm dumb. I will not be home. I'll be near you for opening day.
You will be.
But yeah, I can't wait. I'm super excited for baseball season. Like I'm excited that you're back in on baseball.
It's just nice. I've done a whole journey of self-improvement and whatnot, and realizing that the most happy portions of my life are when I am doing what I did as a kid. And that sounds weird, but like it was watching baseball at night and, the wrestling stuff, obviously. And now that I have friends and people that I can share it with, because like everyone around me, I mean, no one likes wrestling. Everyone thinks baseball is boring. It's just like, all right, well, I like it. So it's like, what am I going to do? Now I have obviously baseball league, you're into it. And then just the job that I have now, it allows me to just sit and watch baseball. It's like, oh, let's go out. It's like, no, I got to do with this. And it ends up working in my favor. Not what you want, it's what you need. And this is something that I need in life.
Plus, you'll love the Phils this year. 2 former Phils in our or 2 former Red Sox in our bullpen.
Who do we got in the bullpen?
We got card opening extraordinaire, Matty Strom.
Oh, I knew that. I'm so jealous.
He's another one that I would love Matt Strom on this podcast.
Oh, he would really vibe well in the underground.
And then Mr. Seagull Arm himself, Craig Kimbrell.
Oh, fuck. Fuck it. I'm not a Kimbrell guy.
It's going to be fun, his first game, because when he pitched for the Braves, we mocked him in his stance.
As you should. It's bizarre.
He's been great this spring training, though, which is like...
Oh, that's good.
Wasn't expecting, so it's a good positive there. But yeah, Kimbrell and Strom in the bullpen. Bullpen is like, this Phillies bullpen. I could spend an entire podcast talking about them.
Now, did you ever go to Veterans Stadium?
When I was real young.
So I found out at work the other day because I was talking to one of the guys in the office about, this. And I was like, yeah, Philly group. And he goes, oh, I used to work at the Phillies baseball field. And I was like, you worked at Citizens Bank? He's like, no, he was a vendor at Veterans in the 60s.
Oh, that's electric.
He was telling stories. It was
Oh,
just
that's
like,
electric.
yeah, he was a vendor in the 60s.
Whew.
Unreal guy. This man is like a Renaissance man himself. Talking from one
That's
Renaissance guy to
unreal.
another.
Because
He-
the vet was Phil's and Eagles. They
Oh,
both played
yes.
there.
Yes, that's right. That's right. From what I've watched.
Both played there, and yeah, like we had the 700 level at the vet. That's where the whole Philly prison in the stadium jokes come from, because there was a drunk tank prison in the vet.
Oh,
Lot of stuff coming about that vet turf though. That's being linked to a lot of the guys who played baseball at the vet. Unfortunately, getting like sick and having cancer and everything.
No way, really?
Yeah, somebody bought turf on eBay from the vet, and they did like a study on it and everything. And there's like chemicals and stuff in the turf that they used that like causes cancers and stuff. There's a whole article in the Philly. I'm gonna pull that up now actually, and I'm gonna bring this up on Wednesday's show as well with Matt, because we haven't talked about this yet.
I did not know that. That's fucking wild.
This is like a new story that came out recently.
Oh, that's even more shocking.
Yeah, this came out like early March.
Oh, yeah, so that's relatively
They tested turf from Veterans Stadium, and here we go. So in 2022, David West became not the former basketball player, former Phil.
Good. Thank you. Clarification.
David West became the 6th former member of the Philadelphia Phillies to die from brain cancer. His death, coupled with growing scientific concerns about perils of PFAs, gave Inquirer reporters the idea to explore whether the artificial turf at Veterans Stadium had contained harmful chemicals. But how? The stadium, after all, got torn down in 2004. But in 1982, the Phillies had presented fans with a unique giveaway item, pieces of AstroTurf that had been on the Vets field between 1977 and 1981. The team sealed thousands of 4-inch squares of the fake green grass in plastic and labeled it official turf of the champions, because Phil's won the World Series in 1980.
Okay.
So reporters purchased these turf samples from 4 individual sellers on eBay and had 2 pieces tested at the Lancaster, Pennsylvania laboratory of Eurofins Scientific, an international group of 900 labs in 50 countries, and 2 samples at a lab at the University of Notre Dame. Shout out Lou Holt.
Shout out Catholic.
Lou Host, the University of Notre Dame. Eurofins tested the 40-year-old plus Veteran Stadium turf for 70 different PFA compounds. 16 were found. 2 of those 16 were, pardon me for mispronouncing this because it's science, perfluorooctanoic acid, PFOA.
Okay.
And perfluorooctane sulfonic acid, which my chemistry brain is like, oh, sulfur. The most widely studied of the chemicals and considered the most perilous and the subject of lawsuits across the country. Although the levels of the contamination in drinking water would be alarming, less is known about the potential danger of playing on artificial turf, where the toxic chemicals are inhaled or transmitted through chronic skin contact. Obviously, players are sliding and everything, making dives for balls. Even so, several toxicologists who are conducting extensive PFA studies said the vet turf findings were concerning and problematic. So the Synthetic Turf Council... an industry group said, quote, the materials used in synthetic turf have been thoroughly reviewed by both federal and state government agencies and are considered to be non-hazardous. Asked twice by email if the turf contained PFAs, the president of the council did not answer the question. A little sus there. The known health risks of PFAs are associated with various types of cancer, liver damage, decreased fertility and immunity to fight infections, increased cholesterol levels, and risk of asthma and thyroid disease.
Jesus Christ.
The Phillies consulted several brain cancer experts who told the organization that there is no evidence of a link between artificial turf and the disease. Other experts, however, said the issue is worthy of additional study.
Yeah, that's where my brain goes, is that it may
crazy.
Not be. It's still crazy that it's a thing.
But it's also like 6 guys from
That's a
Phillies teams that
sample
played at
size.
the vet on those turf have died of brain cancer specifically.
Then that's a weird thing. Like brain cancer of all things. I feel like skin cancer would be the
I think
one that
part of it's
pops.
like, you're inhaling and you're around the turf so much and like you're rolling around, you're diving, your face gets.
Yeah. But I don't know, the
It is
brain, yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's just so wild that I don't know. And it's a good sample size. Like
Like that's
6.
a huge number in
Yeah.
terms of like era of Phillies player,
Yeah.
the specificity of brain cancer,
Mhm.
and they all played at the vet.
It's 3.
We'll put the link in the description to that article for you guys to read.
Yeah, that's incredible.
But that's wild. But yeah, baseball season's here, and Wednesday night will be the Phillies season preview show, which is exciting. But moving on from one turf to another, going to the gridiron. It's brought to you by our awesome energy sponsor, W Energy. Pitsy,
Look
cheers to you, brother. We're
Cheers.
both sipping on big energy tears right now.
Listen, I'm a real stickler when it comes to my energy drinks, as we know, and my caffeine consumption. Dubby just gets it. I just ordered it. I'm kind of trapped in my box over here, so I can't get up. But I bought my Dubby tub of the blue. I can't think
Big
of the name.
energy tears.
Big energy tier. And you were right about how it tastes like the blue part of a Rocket Pop
Mm-hmm.
4th of July. And I had it before we recorded. Actually, was drinking it during our fantasy baseball draft because I knew we had this after. And when there's no jitters and no crash, like I am not overly hyper excited right now, but I'm so focused and in the
I'm
moment with
alive,
it.
awake, alert, enthusiastic.
Like I just like feel like here, and it's such a refreshing thought and feeling to have that not like I don't need to be up like this and going crazy. It's nice and it tastes good.
Tastes so good. Like that is the best part. Like on top of like the benefits, it tastes delicious. So W was formulated to give you focus and energy, like Pitt said, with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including that patented neurofactor, which has been proven in clinical trials to up the ante on your brain performance by up to 143%. W also is no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin fillers, no artificial colors, so that red 40, none of that crap is in W. And it's also produced in the USA in an FDA registered and inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP guidelines. W was tired of, big energy valuing profits over quality. So that's where they stepped in and made their own. So go to war on big energy with myself, Pitsy, and everybody here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. They've been keeping us energized all March long during the tournament and, of course, just all the time. They're the best in the game. Go to w.gg and use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. It's an effective way and direct way to support everything we're doing. w.gg, use code UNDERGROUND. 99% of their flavors are back in stock outside of the Dragonade, which is unfortunate because it is very, very good. But the Galaxy Grenade, back in stock in full tubs. The Dub Sludge, back in stock in full tubs. Like Pitts and I are drinking on the Big Energy Tears, which is your blue raspberry flavor, back in stock full tubs. The Beach and Peach, which is the white peach mango cooler, in stock full tubs. The Push and Punch fruit punch flavor, in stock. The Passion Fruit iced tea, in stock. Go get it. It's the best. You won't regret it. Let us know. Follow W on Twitter and Instagram too, W Energy. Go to w.gg, use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. Pitsy, the Birds are still flying high, doing some big-time stuff this offseason. They have signed 3 veteran free agents to very cost-effective deals. Here is the breakdown of new Eagles safety Terrell Edmonds coming from the west side of Pennsylvania to the east side. Terrell Edmonds 1-year deal with the Eagles, which kind of came from the clouds. Like, didn't expect it, and I was just like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is great.
I would agree.
So here's the total value of the contract: $2 million, $600,000 guaranteed, $250,000 signing bonus, base salary of $1.08 million. He's got per game roster bonuses of up to $670,000 and up to $850,000 in team/personal incentives. Amazing contract for a very talented safety who is going to fit into Desai, the new defensive coordinator for the Eagles. His system, Terrell Edmonds is so versatile that like he can be a box safety, he can go in coverage, he can he can tackle.
Yeah, you can
he
put him
get
in
interceptions. Like
you can
he's
put him in
great.
that side save. Yeah, and what I like about this signing is that it's a hard hitter. My favorite safety of all time, no bias side, is Brian Dawkins, and one of my favorite things he used to do was hit the motherfuckers so hard.
Hallelujah!
Like that's just like that is an Eagles safety, and I think Terrell Edmonds is a good embodiment of that, and it just adds another threat to that defense. So I mean,
It's a trio family too. There's
all three.
No, well, I'm saying there's like he's part
Oh,
of like
there are more.
those
Yeah.
rare instances where like there's three family members who play football in the same family. That is Terrell Edmonds.
Here for a second, I thought
I would love all the Edmonds. Give me all the Edmonds.
I need to chase all those Edmonds.
I think Terrell Edmonds is going to be a fan favorite type of player.
I can see that.
Like I think a lot of Eagles fans are going to love the way he plays and how he fits in here. Another guy that I would love on the podcast. This is just the call out episode. I want everybody on the podcast. Terrell Edmonds, come on the pod. So now you have a secondary that looks like this. We'll get into the other signing in a minute, but it's big play, Darius Slay, James Bradbury, Avonte Maddox, your boy Greedy Williams, Terrell Edmonds, Reed Blankenship, and another new safety signed this week, Justin Evans, former second-round pick, played with the Saints last year, replaced C.J. Gardner-Johnson in New Orleans after coming over from the Bucs. He's now doing the same thing, coming over to the Birds. Which, Pitts, do you want a good, hearty chuckle of a laugh?
I love laughing.
Do you know who Justin Evans' agent is?
Is it? Don't you dare tell me! Don't you dare tell me it is C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
It is C.J. Gardner-Johnson's agent. Imagine being that guy. Getting absolutely bodied by Howie Roseman on the C.J. Gardner-Johnson contract. And then Twitter fingers about your client getting screwed on a contract. Which we will get into that contract. Because hilarious contract. Like, there was a tweet that I have to bring up too. Shout out at Tom's Takes on Twitter. Great tweet. And then having to walk back into the Eagles office to get your client signed.
Dude, that is like the all-time bag fumble.
How much of a saving face signing was this for that agent in terms of CJ signed a 1-year deal and like CJ's also been acting a fool on Twitter lately too, but when doesn't he? To be like, okay, my client's a free agent again. You have hella money coming off the books. Come sign C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Eagles. How much do you think that played into Justin Evans going to the Eagles?
Oh, immensely.
Because now this is a second instance where he's followed C.J. Gardner-Johnson's footsteps and replaced him on that team that he played for the year before.
Yeah, so next year, Justin Evans to the Lions? Like, is this what we're
Swami Pitts. Swami Pitts.
I'm just saying. I follow the trends. I follow the patterns. So I think it's weird. It's just bizarre. Like why? All that says to me is that potentially you could see him return next year, but that's such a bad look on his part. Like he had to do something to save face.
Yeah. So Justin Evans' deal. He's got It's a $1.5 million deal with just $600,000 in guaranteed money, so it's a very low-risk contract. A cap hit of about like $1.6 million, just under that, and a base salary of $1.08 million, $250,000 signing bonus, per game roster bonuses of up to $260,000. I'm pulling up this one tweet here because it was just too funny to not bring up. We got to talk CJ Gardner-Johnson's contract because details of the contract have come out since the last time we recorded. This is from Pro Football Talk, wrote the article here. So per a source with knowledge of the deal, Gardner-Johnson's contract has a base value of $6.5 million. He can make another $1.5 million via a package of incentives. That is a key word there, Pitsy. A package of incentives.
Perked up.
For $1.5 million, all of which require the Lions to finish in the top 16 of yards allowed.
That's pretty steep.
Bank that memory there, okay?
Okay.
So he gets $375,000 for 70% playing time, or $750,000 for 80% playing time. He also gets $375,000 for 3 interceptions, or $750,000 for 5 interceptions. So he'll get another $375,000, or another $750,000, or another $1.125 million, or another $1.5 million. With all of those things happening, or nothing at all. Are you ready? Again, even if he has 100% playing time and 15 or more interceptions, he gets nothing unless the Lions finish in the top half of the league defensively. And at Tom's Takes on Twitter, quote tweeted everything and said, damn, he signed a same game parlay.
That's incredible. Bro, that is incredible. Oh
CJ Gardner-Johnson's agent signed him to a $6.5 million contract with a same game parlay incentive lace deal.
Like, basically, what the hell? Like, that is, dude.
It makes so much sense why he was being emotional.
Oh, 1,000%. Dude, Brad Holmes. Can we just talk about that GM for a second? That man is a genius. For doing that, for getting him to go.
Brad Holmes said gambling's legal in Michigan, so we're going to gamble on a free agent signing.
That was a hell of a gamble. Kyle, do we know what the one rule of gambling is? The house always wins. Ford Field's about to be raking.
My man's incentives are a same game parlay, and as soon as I read that tweet, I levitated to a higher plane.
That was, dude. The internet is free. The best things in life are truly free.
Like, that is just unbelievable.
CJ, he just looked at that contract. Goes, I
hope for like the sanctity of CJ Gardner-Johnson, he fires his agent before he hits free agency again. Because what a moron.
Dude, if he fired, that would be such a fun time on social. If he fires him. Oh my God, the content that would go from there. I'm sorry, but there's no reason why he should be a Detroit Lion. And I'm saying this as a Detroit Lion fan. Because, like, the Eagles, from what we heard about the talks, like, it should have just been a done deal. And I mean, Slay was already gone too.
Right? In theory, yeah. He was going to be a post June 1 cut, but
yeah, but like he's gone. So it's like, all right, and everyone, even you, I'm pretty sure said this. All right, it's probably just to make room for CJ. And everyone was like, fine, we get it. Like, what moron, idiot.
But if you told me that the Eagles were going to have a starting secondary on paper right now of Bradbury, Slay, Avonte Maddox, Reed Blankenship, Greedy Williams, and Terrell Edmonds, instead of Bradbury, rookie corner, Avonte Maddox, Reed Blankenship, CJ Gardner-Johnson, I'm taking the former over the latter.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's
Not
just,
only for simply the play of Darius Slay in that instance. Darius Slay is a captain of this football team. Like, he's a leader in the locker room. He's well respected. He's well, received by the fans. Everybody loves him. Everybody loves his wife being here. She has become like one of us. Like, that's good vibes for the locker room, on top of Slay still being an all-pro caliber corner at the age of 32.
yeah, this is where he belongs. And it's probably where he's going to finish out his career, it feels like.
That's what he
And
said. He hopes to retire an Eagle.
I mean, at this point, he's at that point where he needs to be, leading that locker. I just love the move. I just would rather have that. And I'm a really big fan of the Greedy Williams signing, which doesn't happen if CJ stays. So, it all works out in the end. It's incredible.
We talked about Greedy last week, which was very exciting. I'm excited about that signing. And then the Eagles also signed a veteran linebacker this week, which makes a ton of sense. He's coming from the Chicago Bears, which our defensive coordinator was formerly with the Bears. Nicholas Morrow. I love this signing. I think he's a fantastic linebacker for what the Eagles are going to be using him for. Essentially, in my opinion, I believe he's kind of replacing Kaiser White, which doesn't impinge anything on Nakobe Dean starting as your middle linebacker. So Nicholas Morrow, 1 year deal, $1.155 million. I love it. It's $1.09 million on a cap hit, 1.08 in base salary, roster bonus of $50K, likely to be earned incentives of $75K, and a workout bonus of $25K. He's 27 years old. He missed all of 2021, but returned last year as a full-time starter for the Bears. Started all 17 games, but he played every snap for the Bears last season, playing the Mike and the Will positions. For anybody that doesn't know, that's middle linebacker, weak side linebacker. So Nakobe Dean will likely be a starter this year at linebacker. Morrow is probably going to be the other starter. And if that doesn't work out, the Eagles really haven't lost anything, because it's a risk-free contract, essentially, for how cheap it is and how little of a cap hit it really is. So I like this a lot. I think he's going to fit into Desai's, scheme perfectly. And if it turns out to be the Eagles just stole a 27-year-old linebacker for a little over $1 million to be a starting linebacker, let's fucking ride.
I agree. Yeah.
So some great signings by the Eagles this week. Lane Johnson also gets a 1-year extension. And
did you see that coming?
Probably at some point. I just didn't know when it was going to happen. Okay. I think it was more so Lane and the Eagles being like, yeah, let's make you a lifetime Eagle.
That makes
similar
sense.
to like Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox. Like I said it at the end of the year, I said give all those guys all the deals until they're ready to retire.
Yeah.
Look what they did this offseason, Pitts. Kelsey, 1-year deal. Brandon Graham, 1-year deal. Fletcher Cox, 1-year deal. Lane Johnson, 1-year extension on top of the contract he already has. Those are like E-Rock, shout out to the boy, put out a great tweet, and he said, at some point you have to start appreciating the people who are here, and posted the picture of Howie Roseman with those 4 guys with the NFC Championship trophy. And that is the point. You can't get hung up on CJ Gardner-Johnson anymore. Like, he's gone. Worry about the guys who are here and who want to be here. On top of those, you have your franchise quarterback for the first time, arguably since Donovan McNabb. Carson Wentz was here for a blip on the radar, but never really turned out to be the franchise quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a franchise quarterback and is the best quarterback in the NFC by a large margin. You have 2 all-pro caliber wide receivers on this team. You have a top 5 tight end on this team. You have the best offensive line in football.
Yeah.
Eagles fans.
You have look at your receiving core.
Right. Like, you have 2 all-pro caliber wide receivers on this roster. And arguably the best wide receiver duo in the NFL.
Arguably, yeah. Top 3.
Top 3, easy.
I would go
Like
top 3.
top 3, it's Eagles, Dolphins, Bengals.
Yeah, I think you got to keep the Bengals in there because Teagan's still there. They're not going to trade him, so I would put them in that play.
As duos alone, you know, and I mean, like who else you throwing at me?
Panthers. Kidding. It was a joke. Bad joke. Just with DJ Chark and Adam Thielen.
I like what the Panthers are doing this offseason.
I do like
out
what
the
they're
Mikey.
Do more on the Patriots. Fuck it. Whatever. Let's talk Philly. Can't.
But yeah, I love what the Eagles are doing right now, and you know, Rashad Penny's here. You got Boston Scott back,
Yeah,
Kenneth Gainwell.
Rashad Penny is like.
He just has to stay healthy.
I thought that was a weird signing, but like in a good way.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
No, not at all.
Like, I knew Miles Sanders was more than likely gone.
Yeah, I figured that.
Because he was going to get a payday for having a career year last year. But I didn't see the Rashad Penny thing going, which I didn't hate. Didn't hate it.
Good. He'll be a good compliment to Scott and Gainwell.
Yeah. And I think that's, you know, what the Eagles kind of have to get back to in terms of running back is sign these guys to one-year deals, let them have a career year, go get paid, and then bring in the next one. And keep Gainwell, Boston Scott here, you know, guys like that once those guys, you know, hang it up or whatever.
Yeah.
But having like that trio of running back, it's like 2017. Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette Blount, and Darren Sproles.
My God, I forgot Darren Sproles on that team.
And Corey Clement, because Darren Sproles got injured during the season. So.
Corey Clement, yeah, like Darren Sproles V2.
Pretty much. Shout out to the boy. Signed back with the Cardinals. South Jersey zone.
Love it.
But yeah, I love what the Eagles are doing right now, and they're crushing the offseason, so keep it up. Pitsy, let's move on over to the madness that is Underground. It's brought to you by our awesome partners over at Kenwood Beer. I'm seeing the Kenny boys this week to pick up some bevies. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com. Use that all-new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. You can get it at the Wells Fargo Center now with the big Kennys. You can also pick up packs, you know, cases of Kenny at your local liquor store in the Philadelphia area, or if you're in Eastern Pennsylvania, you can get it at your local Home Goods. So go to kenwoodbeer.com. You must be 21 or older to do so, and of course, please drink responsibly. Pitts, we're in the Final Four. We're in the end game now of 2023 NCAA tournament. It's been wild. The Final Four is locked and loaded with a Final Four that I don't think anybody could have ever predicted. This is your Final Four for 2023. San Diego State, the Aztecs, taking on the Florida Atlantic University Owls. A 5 versus a 9. And then in the Midwest versus the West, it is the U, the Miami Hurricanes, taking on the other U, Con, the Connecticut Huskies.
Cons
5 versus a 4.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I mean, I'm looking at this now, and I mean, I just didn't watch the games because Limitless, UConn smacked Gonzaga, smacked them. Yeah. Holy shit! What
death taxes don't trust Gonzaga,
dude. Unbelievable. Talk about just like
and Miami with them an epic comeback to take down the Longhorns.
And everyone thought Texas was going to be. There was a lot of people who had Texas win this thing.
That was a darling team in terms of like, oh, they're gonna run the table and beat everybody. Yeah. No 1 seeds, no 2 seeds, no 3 seeds, 1 4 seed, 2 5 seeds, and a 9 seed in your Final Four.
Is a 9 the lowest seed that's ever made it?
That's a great question. Let's see, lowest seed to make Final Four ever. No. So that title is shared by 5 schools that made a Cinderella run to the Final Four as an 11 seed.
Dude, Madison's won.
Which was first done by LSU in 1986, followed by George Mason in 2006. I remember that one. VCU in 2011. That was the Shaka Smart VCU squad. Loyola Chicago, the Sister Jean team in 2018. And then just back in 2021, UCLA.
Oh, I don't remember that.
UCLA was a play-in team in 2021. So FAU, not the lowest, but pretty damn close. 9 seed going to the Final Four. I love this, honestly. Like, I know a lot of people are probably bummed because, the best teams in the tournament are out and everything. This defines the madness that is March Madness. The unpredictability that anybody can go. It is the hardest championship to win. College, pro combined.
I would have. Oh,
because it is so chaotic. I was talking to somebody about this in the press box at the Wings game yesterday on Saturday. It's harder because he was trying to make the argument that Stanley Cup's the hardest. Maybe in pro, but in all of sports, I think the hardest is March Madness because, one, you're kids. So, you're 19 to 22, 23, some of them 24 now because of the COVID years and stuff. But you're 18 to 23-year-old going on the road, playing in a neutral environment in terms of location. You don't have your home crowd behind you. You don't have all the pomp and circumstance of a home court advantage. And it's one game. It's a one-and-done instance. Like, if you lose, you're done. And that pressure on someone that age is emphasized that much more. Like, everyone wants to talk about it's so hard to watch college basketball, this, that, and the third. Well, yeah, there's so much fucking pressure on these kids where regular NBA basketball, you go in and watch a regular season game or even a playoff game, it's a series. Yeah. You're getting 7 shots total to advance to the next round. This, you're one and done. You survive in advance. It is the toughest thing to win.
What is his logic with the Stanley Cup? I think that's weird.
I don't know. He was just saying that Stanley Cup was the toughest of the.
See, I'd go college basketball, Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup, NBA.
Yeah, I think I'm with you.
Because all in the NBA, just the team with the most
college football playoff is a joke, so I don't even count that.
Oh, that's a whole season thing. That's a whole season thing, and
that's like if you lose one regular season game, you're done.
Yeah, you're done. Bye-bye. You're out of the national title game.
Stupid.
And it's like the first week. So but my logic with the Super Bowl over hockey is one game too, any given Sunday. Yep. And it's the same. It's the pro version of Madness. There's no series. You can't go home and rest up and we'll just prepare for tomorrow. No, it's one game, and if you win, then you have a week to prep, and that's all the time you get.
Mm-hmm.
I like that element of it.
Yeah. So an update, Underground Madness, we'll have winners by this time next week. We'll have an idea of who's going to end up winning our bracket, and
Big O.
Get in contact with you.
You want the Big O.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. The OG is winning the bracket challenge right now, which is crazy.
Hilarious.
The next closest underground employee, if you will, I believe Tommy Boy. So that's good for the brand. He won't advance any higher because his national champion was the Texas Longhorns, and they are out. So Tommy's going to finish at best 16th. And then I'm next up. I'm at number 21, tied with a bunch of people. Followed by CFO Margie. She's going to be in 24th. Casey in 24th. Who else here?
My bracket. So so I made a bracket but I added the wrong bracket and it was one that I didn't fill in. So, but I did a bracket. Problem was I had Bama as my winner.
That'll do it to you.
Forgot they even lost.
That'll do it to you. So yeah, Underground Madness, crazy time. We got some awesome prizes in the works for everybody who finishes in the top 3. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And then Pitsy, we've got NBA action on deck Monday. It's Batman versus the Joker and Embiid versus Jokic, probably for the MVP. Nothing
would say
better.
so.
Nothing better.
That's some great Monday Night Basketball, to be honest with you.
9:30 primetime NBA TV out in Denver. Sixers have lost 2 straight, which has been tough out west, but James Harden hasn't played, so they're not at full strength. Embiid also looks like he's dealing with an injury. So I just don't want him to be gassed for the playoffs.
No, you got it.
know?
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, hopefully he can get some rest, and hopefully Doc Rivers gets his head out of his ass and plays B-Ball Paul instead of Dwayne Dedmon, because B-Ball Paul is the better player right now, and, Dwayne Dedmon will not be playing in the playoffs, so stop playing him, Doc Rivers. Yeah, it's crunch time in the NBA. We've got a fun one on deck next week, you and I.
Oh,
Sixers,
yeah, the
Celtics.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one. I mean, after their dominant win against the Spurs tonight, Jaylen Brown,
the lowly Spurs.
All right, you know what? A 40-point win against anyone is impressive, and then Jaylen Brown putting up 41. I love it. Give me the talk that they splitting up the Browns.
Do you want to end this episode on a very fun note here?
Yes, always.
So, the Flyers obviously have been horrific this year, and they are heading towards a rebuild. I was sent. This is a Flyers meet the Swifties.
Okay.
I want you to roller coaster buckle up for this.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Do not move until the roller coaster comes to a complete stop. Everybody, enjoy your ride. So this is a DM sent to somebody that I know. That reads, This is tying in how Taylor Swift's new album, the Eras album, is going to tie into the Flyers drafting Connor Bedard.
Oh, great! That's exactly what we need right now. That is fucking exactly what I need right now.
So here it is. Basically, Taylor Swift released an album this past year, and she's on her Eras tour now. I'm sure you know about it, and basically the last song on the tour is Karma. And I was listening to Karma just now, and Karma is about basically Karma punishing people who have done her wrong over the years, and Karma rewarding her for handling her past drama well, or when people pulled her into drama, and then all the good karma she's gotten. And also, Taylor Swift is a Flyers fan, so I'm thinking us building the good foundation and finally making changes to the franchise, Karma is going to reward us.
That is just ridiculous. That is just utter and absolute nonsense. That is
She
ridiculous.
said, I just want good karma.
That's incredible. That's fucking ridiculous.
So that is the Pepe Sylvia from It's Always Sunny of how Taylor Swift's Eras tour.
Oh my god.
And Karma, Taylor Swift's Karma song, tying into the Flyers getting good karma and drafting Connor Bedard.
That's incredible.
Pitsy, your thoughts? Is it true?
No way.
Is the theory true, Pitts?
No, it's not. All right. It's just like I could make up so many theories about certain things and songs that like it's gonna make this person. It's not gonna change anything. It's not gonna change anything. Okay. Not at all.
Hi, it's me. I'm the problem.
Yeah. Hey, it's you, Flyers fans. You're the fucking problem. You guys are.
I love the little sprinkle of Taylor Swift's also a Flyers fan, which is true because she's from the Philadelphia area.
But all right, yeah, that's like, okay, cool. Like,
it's
incredible.
So funny. Good karma because the Flyers finally fired Chuck Fletcher, which they should have never hired him.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's so great. But that's all we got for you guys. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.com/UndergroundSportsPHI. Follow Pitts on Twitter and Instagram at Pat_Pitts and at Pitsy35. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at KBIZZL311 and KBIZZLE11. Subscribe to the podcast feed, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Leave a 5-star review and let us know if you think Taylor Swift's Eras Tour is going to be the catalyst for the Flyers drafting Connor Bedard. And also leave a 5-star rating on Spotify. Subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel as well. YouTube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. Leave a comment as well if you think Taylor Swift's Eras Tour is going to be the reason the Flyers draft Connor Bedard. YouTube.com, smash that like button, ring the bell icon. Be a friend, tell a friend, subscribe. We're at 422 subscribers. If we get to 500 by April 1st, we're giving away Duani art. You guys love when we do those giveaways.
You want it?
Go subscribe. We're on that road to 1K. And big thank you to our sponsors who make this show happen. Main Auto LLC, Security 21 Security Systems, Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated, and the Dental Wellness Center of Vineland. Of course, Underground Sports Philadelphia is presented by the City of Vineland. Whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or are a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. Their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you are considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Department team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And go get your merch, phiapparel.co, code underground, 10% off your order. Support us. Get your merch. Go do it. This has been episode number 519 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Shout out to the Swifties. We hope you find this and you like the content. For Patty Pitts, I'm KB. Till Wednesday night, we are getting the heck up out of here. We're signing off. Peace.